Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Welcome to Breeders Cup Focus. We're going to take a look at the top contenders for the Breeders Cup Distaff, ranked in preliminary morning line odds order. The preliminary morning odds for DRF made by Brad Free, and these odds are likely going to change. Elate is the 3-1 second choice on Brad's morning line. She's going to be pre-entered for the Distaff, but it seems that Bill Mott is really leaning towards running her in the Classic, which means, Mike, Midnight Bisou is going to be one of the bigger favorites on the two-day Breeders' Cup extravaganza.
Yeah, as she should be. 7 for 7 so far this year. She's just been unstoppable in this division. Elate did not run her best race last time in the Spinster. She would certainly be a major player in this race if she runs here, and it sounds like she's not going to.
Midnight Bisou defeated Elate at Saratoga in the Personal Ensign Stakes 2 starts back. Very exciting stretch run, showed that 1 1/8 is within her wheelhouse. Before that, it seemed like 1 1/16 was her best game. And I like the fight she showed last time out. Let's watch Midnight Bisou's Beldame Stakes. She's down towards the inside, and that's a nice horse from Chad Brown on the outside. Wowcat, who's looking Midnight Bisou in the eye. Midnight Bisou is just too good for her, and this has just been her the entire year. Head and shoulders above the rest of the division.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, she at this stage of the game just towers over this division. She's really improved. She was a good 3-year-old, but she's really improved at 4. You see how easy she wins when all is said and done in that Beldame. It didn't come back that fast, but luckily for her, she's got plenty of fast races prior to that.
Waiting for her in Southern California with the home court advantage is Paradise Woods, listed as 8-1 on Brad's morning line. Paradise Woods kind of an in and outer. Just when you think you're ready to write the book and close it up on Paradise Woods, she comes back with a performance like this in the Zenyatta Stakes. The big mare has good tactical speed, and she's on the outside right now. She's on the attack. That is Secret Spice on the inside, a consistently good mare all year long. Paradise Woods gets the job done, and I guess on her best day, she's fast enough to contend with the Midnight Bisou. Perhaps she's cycling back into her best form. It's just hard to trust her to run back-to-back efforts at this point in her career.
It is. I mean, I guess it just seems like the key to her at this stage of the game is you have to put her into the race right from the start. She's won 2 Grade 2s this year, both in the same way, where they just put her right up on the pace, and she was able to stay on and get the job done at the end. I guess they just got to go forward with her and hope she shows up with her best race because she's really talented.
She beat both Secret Spice and Ollie's Candy in that race. Both of those horses listed at 15-1 on Brad's morning line. Could you find an excuse for either one in that race? Secret Spice was odds on, controlled the pace. Ollie's Candy I thought was a little far back.
Yeah, Ollie's Candy got a different ride this time. They tried to ride. I still think she got a good trip in that race. She just couldn't make up any real ground in the stretch. Maybe she wants to be more forward as well. Secret Spice, listen, I don't know what to say. She's really nice, Dan. I think 1 1/8 in the Breeders' Cup really pushes her limits.
Now, 1 1/8 will not push Blue Prize. That is her distance. It has been her distance throughout her career, and it looks like she's getting back to her best form for trainer Nacho Correas. Let's look at the Juddmonte Spinster. These are 2 big scalps she's running down. In the blue silks on the lead is the classy Elate. Down towards the rail in the green is one of the leading 3-year-old fillies in the country, Dunbar Road. Blue Prize is going to win the Spinster for the 2nd year in a row. This year, it really was a true Grade 1.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, this is probably the best win of her entire career, even though it's her 2nd Spinster. That's a couple of good horses she outruns to the wire here. She had tried Elate a couple of times earlier this year and was really no match for her, but she got her revenge in that race. As you say, this is her distance. She could get a good trip in this race. She is really underrated.
Dunbar Road, we mentioned, one of the better 3-year-old fillies in the country, as is Street Band, who was beaten by Dunbar Road in the Alabama. But that race was run over an extremely sloppy track at 1 1/4, and she rebounded in a big way in this effort. The Cotillion Stakes at Parks. The previously unbeaten Guarana has the jump on her turning into the stretch. Street Band got a great ride. She got a nice pace to attack, and she finishes this off very professionally. She's an extremely likable filly who's going to have to take on a real tough older foe in Midnight Bisou.
Seems like she's going to have to improve again to win the Breeders' Cup, but that's what she's been doing all year long. I liked this effort from her, Dan. She also got a really good setup in that race. They went fast in front of her. She made a strong run into it. A nice win for her. I also thought a good performance from Guarana there, though. She was really close to that fast pace.
Let's throw up the list one more time. Guarana is on the list, as is Serengeti Empress, who was beaten and on that fast pace in the Cotillion. I wonder if both of those horses might decide to opt for the Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf. I think that distance might serve them a little bit better than the distance of the distaff, especially against Midnight Bisou.
Yeah, we'll see where they wind up going. I don't disagree with you. Serengeti Empress to me is the kind of filly who can be dangerous in any race because she's so fast, and when she gets on the lead, sometimes she gets really brave. So we'll see where they decide to go. I also, wouldn't just totally give up on Dunbar Road if she runs here. The Spinster last time, I don't think it was her best race, but down on the rail the entire way. Maybe she has a little bit of an excuse for that.
I agree, and I also think she's got a lot of upside in the 1 1/8 as well within her scope. Remember to head to drf.com/BC for the latest changes in odds and all of the latest news and notes regarding any of the Breeders' Cup divisions. Midnight Bisou, 8-5 on Bradfree's very preliminary morning line, and she's going to be likely shorter than that come post time for the distaff and is way the horse to beat.